Hello everyone. My name is Daiichi, and I will give you the lecture regarding the radiation and remediation activities. So, let's start today's lecture. Today's theme is treatment of removed soil and waste arising from decontamination activities. Are you ready?
I didn't know that even a piece of drinking bottle is made through very complicated procedures.
Yes, I know how you feel it. If we know the flow or processes, how the things are made, we can understand a lot of things, can't we? For example, as a result of decontamination activities, a large volume of soil and waste is subjected to generate. If we know how and to where the soil and waste are transported and treated, we can get the whole picture for their treatment more clearly.
Right. I might know each processes quite partially, I have never thought about whole processes. Could you elaborate it a little bit more, Mr. Daiichi?
Of course. So, let's look together material flow of soil and waste arising from decontamination or other kinds of activities. The material flows of the soil and waste are different between the Fukushima Prefecture and other prefectures. Therefore, let me elaborate one after another. Let me begin with the case of the Fukushima Prefecture. First, keep in mind that the law concerning decontamination activities roughly sets two categories. First, soil and waste which generate during decontamination activities. And second category is other waste which generate during other than the decontamination activities. And the latter is further divided into two kinds of waste. That is, the waste in the countermeasure areas, and the designated waste. The detail of each waste would be elaborated in other lectures. And with regard to the waste generated through decontamination activities, if it is burnable, it is transported to incineration plants for its volume reduction. And non-burnable soil is transported to temporary storage sites, and stored for some time, till following procedures. And with regard to waste in countermeasure areas and designated waste, burnable waste is transported to incineration plants for its volume reduction. And non-burnable waste is stored in temporary storage sites, and stored for some time, till following steps. And soil and waste generated through decontamination activities are subject to be transported to the interim storage facilities. And part of the waste in the countermeasure areas and the designated waste are subjected to be transported to the landfill facility for specified waste. I would like to explain these facilities in other lectures. And of the waste in countermeasure areas and the designated waste, the waste with more than 10,000 becquerel per kilogram of radioactivity concentration is subject to be transported to the interim storage facilities. And with regard to the soil arising from decontamination activities, the waste in the countermeasure areas, and the designated waste, part of them have been already recycled, or the demonstration projects are conducted toward further larger scale recycling. I would like to explain also the recycling issue in another lecture. For the next, the material flow in prefectures other than the Fukushima Prefecture. With regard to the categories of soil and waste generated through decontamination activities, they are same with the Fukushima Prefecture. With regard to other kinds of waste, there are not waste, which is categorized as the waste in the countermeasure areas, but the designated waste is generated. I would like to go into detail in another lecture. With regard to the soil and waste which generate during decontamination activities, basically they are treated with the same approaches within the Fukushima Prefecture. Part of them is transported to the temporary storage sites, and other burnable waste is transported for its volume reduction in incineration plants, although its proportion is different from that within the Fukushima Prefecture. For the next, with regard to the designated waste, As is the case with the soil and waste generated through decontamination activities, burnable waste is transported to incineration plants. And in some cases, they are stored on site, where the waste generates, or other storage sites. There are no storage facilities outside the Fukushima Prefecture, corresponding to the interim storage facility, to store the soil and waste which generated through decontamination activities. Therefore, the specific methodology to dispose the soil is still under consideration, for example, through demonstration projects. Other kinds of waste can be treated as they are done in ordinary situation. Finally, with regard to the designated waste, the Miyagi, the Tochigi and the Chiba prefectures are especially running short of storage facilities, so it is subjected to store the waste in the long-term management facility. In the other prefectures, the designated waste is subject to be treated based on the treatment regulation of the designated waste.
Thank for your very detailed explanation. But I am not sure that I can remember everything right now.
No worries. This is quite complicated. And this is also the very basic flow, and there are other flows which are not described in these animations. When you learn something about decontamination, if you recall these flows and repeatedly consider which part they correspond to, you are going to understand the whole flow soon. So, let me wrap up my lecture by providing you the key points. Today I talked about the treatment of removed soil and waste arising from decontamination activities. First, Japanese legal system distinguishes soil and waste generated through decontamination activities and other kinds of waste. And the treatment processes are a little bit different within the Fukushima Prefecture and the other prefectures. Specifically, the categories of waste are different, but the procedures of treatment are almost same, within and outside the Fukushima Prefecture. And different points are, that within the Fukushima Prefecture, there are the interim storage facilities and the landfill facility for specified waste. On the other hand, there are not similar facilities outside the Fukushima Prefecture, and specific methodology for the treatment is currently under consideration. Okay, today's lecture is now dismissed. See you next time. In this channel, the useful information regarding the radiation and remediation will be provided to you. If you like it, please subscribe to this channel, and do not forget to click the like button.